As leaked aerial photos of one of the illegal drones spread to Seoul's elite property community, no one expected that the modern house on top of the cliff belonged to BTS's Magne. Even some of the leading architects of the ginseng country were made speechless, transfixed, amazed. Not because of its sheer opulence, because Seoul is already full of fake opulence, but rather because the house radiates something deeper. A hidden message, a tacit provocation that shakes the aesthetic order of the top artists. And since that day, something irreversible has happened. The house is no longer just a place to live. It has become a mold. Worse, it has become an obsession. Some call it the House of Revolution. Others secretly refer to it as Jungkook's blueprint. But behind all the designations, there is one indisputable fact. K-pop artists are now vying to create their own version of the house. Not just imitate, but blindly follow. It's as if they didn't follow Jungkook's designs, their careers would stagnate. As if the house was the key to eternal fame. What they don't know, however, is that the house was not built to be imitated. It was built as a memorial, a confession of sin, a silent rebellion against the world that has shaped and crushed Jungkook all at once. And that's where the quietest yet most dangerous controversy in the Korean entertainment world began. Exactly 2 weeks before the photo of the house was leaked, a 12.3 billion won contract was signed by an interior agency that never wanted to be publicly named. Their clients are referred to as JK97. No journalist had time to smell this earlier. None of the fan sites realized that Jungkook had returned to Korea from overseas a few weeks earlier, via a completely undetected private line at the airport. This led the public to ask, why is the house so hidden? Why is the process of its development as if carried out in the shadows? And why did not a single construction worker dare to give an interview about this project? An anonymous source from among the project workers finally spoke out on a dark forum. In his post, which was deleted 5 minutes after it aired, he wrote one short sentence. "We were asked not to build a house, but to build a secret." That's where it all began to unfold. That the house is not just a house, but the map. A map to the past and the future, Jungkook. The next part will reveal who are the K-pop artists who began to follow in Jungkook's design house footsteps, the hidden reasons behind their obsession, and how this began to fuel tensions among the top stars. I'll be doing part 2 soon. If you want the next part right now, just say yes. When Jungkook's name is once again mentioned in Korea's top real estate and architecture circles, not because of his musical comeback or appearance on a variety show, but because of his home, that's enough to prove that something big is going on behind the scenes. The house, which was originally considered a personal treasure, has now turned into a symbolic battleground point. One of the earliest artists to emulate Jungkook's house style was one of the most striking names in the 4th generation. Hwang Seo-jin of the boy group Zeros, known as the next Jungkook by the media for his visuals and central positioning. He reportedly abandoned the design of his private home in the Hanamdong area and secretly moved his project to an area almost identical to Jungkook's residence, the coastal cliff area in Samcheek. Not only the location he imitates, the structure of the house, the sharp lines of minimalism, the predominance of solid black glass and metal, as well as tall trees planted around the building in symmetrical formations. Everything is almost a silent photocopy. More surprising, however, is the fact that Seo-jin once gave an interview in 2023 claiming to not believe in ostentatious luxury. So why did he suddenly follow the Jungkook house blueprint that many architects describe as silent elegance in its most extreme form? The answer, it turns out, lies in a secret meeting that was never made public. According to an investigative report from one of the journalists of Seoul Confidential's Interior magazine, Seo-jin was known to have visited Jungkook's house secretly through a back passage known only to insiders. Accompanied by 2 managers, Seo-jin entered the house at 2:47 in the morning and came out almost at 4:00 in the morning. There were no other witnesses, no photographic evidence, only night satellite camera footage leaked from the security system of a private defense company. The purpose of the visit is still a mystery, but since that night, Seo-jin has changed. He began to remove all previous interior designs and even broke the contract with his old designer. The question is, what did he see in the house? There has been wild speculation among netizens that Jungkook's house holds a special room. An acoustic meditation room with sound panels from the BTS World Tour stage, a room full of personal memorabilia that has never been made public, to more extreme news. An underground passage leading to a secret studio that can only be accessed with fingerprints, belonging to Jungkook and one other person whose identity has still not been revealed. And when this news spread, the effect was like a nuclear explosion without sound. One by one, the K-pop idols began to conduct private consultations with the architects allegedly involved in the construction of Jungkook's house. Within 2 months, the list of artists known to have copied the concept of his house was getting longer. ITZY's Chaeryeong, NCT's Jaehyun, and even rumors that Blackpink's Jisoo was in the planning stages of renovating his old property based on it. Inspiring visual reference of a male icon with the initials J. What no one expected was that this sparked outrage from some who felt Jungkook is creating a new caste in the K-pop world, not based on talent or fame, but based on property. One former SM Entertainment architect who did not want to be named said in an exclusive interview, "It's not just about the house. It's about visual and symbolic dominance." When other artists start to feel inferior just because their homes aren't on par aesthetically and philosophically with Jungkook's, then we're witnessing a very dangerous new era of K-pop, an era where home is more important than music. Of course, not everyone dares such open talk, but the tension is real. And day by day, the sin of interstellar rivalry began to shift from song and stage to architecture and privacy. Some refer to this phenomenon as the Jungkook effect. But for those who are in it, this is not just an effect. This is a virus. The virus of an obsession with perfection that is never asked for, but is transmitted unconsciously by a figure who tries to escape from the world that has created it. Jungkook's home, now, is a battlefield. And every artist who dares to get inside the zone, whether consciously or not, is playing with fire. I'll move on to the next part that will reveal more about the house's secret contents, the hidden symbolism in its design, as well as clues that this house is not just an architectural reference, but a piece of the big puzzle that led to Jungkook's post-enlistment plans. If you want to go directly to the next section now, just say so.